Hello, everyone, and welcome to Angel Hour, where I will be giving a full hour of angel readings. I see that many of you are already lined up for readings, but if you haven't yet submitted a reading request, you are welcome to call or text the Bring Me to Life team at 240-979-6366. Again, that's 240-979-6366. Or, of course, you can also submit your reading request in the Bring Me to Life chat. Now, during Angel Hour, you'll have the opportunity to donate to the Bring Me to Life network. We deeply appreciate any donations you give, as this helps the Bring Me to Life organization continue to create free, spiritually empowering content to share with the world. To donate, just scroll to the bottom of the page at bringmetolife.com and you'll see the donate button. I'm also looking forward to connecting with you and the angels today in our guided meditation. So let's go ahead and tune into the angelic realm and take a moment just to center and clear our energy. Begin by closing your eyes, relaxing your body, and we will begin. As you relax, begin to deepen and lengthen your breaths. Allow your body to soften and rest, flowing with the divine current of nature. With every breath you take, you're able to relax deeper and deeper, letting go of the energy of the day-to-day world and allowing your spirit to blossom open, feeling the spiritual presence in your deep psyche, awakening and filling your awareness with the presence of the spiritual realm. Continuing to breathe deeply, feel and see as a soft amethyst purple and crystal white light flow through and around your being now. Breathe that purple white light in and allow it to spread into every cell of your body, every particle of your consciousness. A circle of angels appears around you in the beautiful purple and white light that surrounds your spirit now. Take a moment simply to focus upon your angels, breathing in deeply as you share energy with them. Looking into their eyes and allowing yourself to feel as they channel pure love into your heart. Absorb the peace of the angels, allowing the vibration of your spirit to match theirs. With every breath you take, your inhales amplify the vibration of your inner peace. And each exhale spreads and anchors that inner peace throughout every level of your being. As you continue to rest, breathe, and receive deeply, hold space for the following affirmation within your heart. I trust the flow of the divine current. All is well. I allow myself to function in perfect peace and well-being. Feel as these affirmations anchor and root the energy of the angel's peace deep into your being. With your next deep breath, the angel's light fills and surrounds every cell of the body. And this beautiful higher energy flows downward into your root chakra, the energy center at the base of your spine. Direct each breath you take into your root chakra, feeling this energy center at your tailbone filling with the angel's peace, and noticing this healing vibration spreading into the physical world. You may now hold a thought, intention, prayer, or request in your heart and simply offer it to the angels. And then with that, we'll take in one final deep, relaxing breath. And with your next exhale, you can gently begin to open your eyes and return back to the physical room that you are in, to the waking world. Beautiful. Thank you so much for connecting with me in that beautiful moment with the angels. It always feels so good to tune in together. Today for our readings, I am going to be working with the Angel Tarot cards by Radleigh Valentine and the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud and Jessica Macbeth. And if you will allow me a superbly nerdy moment, I have to gush about how much I love the Fairies Oracle cards. The artist who created these cards, Brian Froud, created the artwork and character design for The Dark Crystal and The Labyrinth by Jim Henson Studios, so I love that. And he makes oracle cards. So amazing. All right, so let's go to our first reading today. Angels, where would you like us to go? Okay, so we're going to connect in. It looks like we don't have a name for this person, but the question is, any messages for me regarding health and also my next move? Should I focus on renting or buying? Okay, great. Thank you so much for your question. We're going to go ahead and pull cards for each of these two areas. So we're going to start with health. And as I connect to your energy, I'm asking Archangel Raphael, who is our angel of health and healing, to step forward and just to go ahead and begin a scan of your physical body from head to toe. Okay, so first thing that I'm getting as I'm scanning your energy body with Archangel Raphael, he's pointing to the fact that detox looks to be something that will help you in every single area of your health. One thing that he's showing us particularly is that it's as if your body is ready, particularly your liver and some of the other fatty tissues where sometimes toxins can end up getting stored in the body, are ready to let go of toxins that would be more unnatural So, examples of unnatural toxins, in your case particularly, it appears to be a low level of heavy metals and some byproducts of what appears to be plastic. Now, don't worry because this is something that pretty much every modern human being in our world ends up coming in contact with physically at some point or another. So, this is not some big thing to worry about, but it's definitely something that it looks like Raphael's showing us can absolutely be improved to improve the rest of your health overall. Because he's showing us that as you lower and completely even perhaps 100% detox from toxins such as this, it helps to ensure that your immune system is working with all engines firing at its highest, most powerful degree. And when your immune system is working at its highest degree, the angels are showing us that for you, your energy levels are also working top notch. So you'll notice that you have more energy throughout the day because less of your energy is being allotted towards dealing with the extra load of heaviness that can sometimes be there when we have a higher level of that, again, normal common toxicity in the body, which in turn, in your case as well, is creating a bit of an environment for the growth of not so friendly pathogens within your microbiome. So Archangel Raphael is just talking about root issues that are actually going to go ahead and improve every single area of life. He shows us this actually reducing some inflammation for you around the nervous system, which might decrease anything going on in your life. If you've got anything with like headaches or any issues around sleep and energy levels, any inflammation that you know about, all of this, we're seeing that decreasing amazingly as a result of doing this work to detox. Raphael's saying focus on plant medicines, plant foods to help you to detox. Deep and bright green things are really good. Particularly, I'm feeling a nice spirulina would be really wonderful to help to cleanse you in many different tissues as well. Archangel Raphael just added. So be sure to add that in. He's also showing us berries and fruits for you being really, really effective. And last little thing that he's showing us for health as well is that the addition of some essential minerals feels like it would be really, really helpful for your cells as well as you get into this mode of re-energizing, it looks like. The angels are showing us particularly magnesium looks like it might be really nice to look into that, maybe ask your doctor about that, as well as, just supplementing with minerals that you can get from having, sea salts or nice mineral salts in your food, just a little pinch of it, or even you can put a little pinch of that in your water. It helps you to stay nice and hydrated. So that looks like that will help you to kind of tune and brighten up at the level of health. And by the way, I turned over the Four of Earth card for your health. So this is a card that just says moderation, essentially. This is a card that's telling you to stay right there on the middle path. No need to be overly militant with regard to your lifestyle and diet right now, because that makes it hard for us sometimes to stick to things. But just stay on the middle road where you take plenty of time and energy towards self-care, while at the same time being very gentle with expanding that comfort zone of yours. So now let's go around to the move that you are contemplating. And what I like to do when we have two options that we're tuning into with the angels, I like to pull cards to represent each option. And those of you who are listening, if you like to work with oracle cards as well, this is just something that you can do to kind of help get really specific guidance from spirit. So the first card that I'm about to turn over here is going to be a card that represents renting, and the second card is going to represent the energy of buying. We're just going to see what the angels are guiding you towards first. Okay, we've got very, very black and white answers here. It looks like they're giving us a really strong path for you. So the card that we turned over for renting is a card called the Ten of Fire, which in this Angel Tarot deck that I'm working with, this represents the energy of stress, actually. It can represent being in a state where sometimes things feel a little bit too complicated. There's something that creates a feeling of almost like you're running around chasing your own tail. They're showing us that the cons connected to renting appear, particularly in your situation, to be related to the limitations that can arise when you have to deal with, let's say, for example, a landlord or collaborating with other people with what you're looking at. And there's just this feeling that you've maybe been through the stress of that before, or that you're over there being stress connected to your living situation at this time in your life. And so it might be a little bit more freedom, it feels like, to look at the other option. So turning over the card for the other option, okay, the card we have is the release card. Release. This is wonderful, actually. This is giving us very clear guidance. Whenever we see this card, it represents the end of one phase of life and the beginning of a new one. In this case, I'm hearing your angels loud and clear say it's the end of the phase. You're nearing the end of the phase of your life in which, renting and that kind of thing made more sense and was more applicable to every other area of your life. It fit in, and you're getting ready to embrace the next period of life where it feels like, buying is helpful. Putting down roots for some reason feels helpful. This move actually does, the angels are adding, represent a walking over a bridge into a new chapter of life. And it feels amazing. It feels very, very liberating, very, very exciting as you get ready for this new area of life. So go ahead and embrace, the option of starting to explore, put your toe in the waters around the buying. Definitely call on Archangel Chamuel as well. Archangel Chamuel is a finding angel. So he's really good at helping us to find our way forward, or in your case, find the perfect house. That would be wonderful. So thank you so much for your question. Let's go ahead and see where the angels would like to lead us next. Okay. It looks like we have a caller on the air with us. Hi, caller. Thank you for calling in today. If you could just introduce yourself and let us know your question for the angels.
Hi, Sarah. This is Nish. And
Hi, Nish.
My question, I have just a few of them. So I just moved to Hawaii, and I'm in a current living situation, and I would just like some direction as specific as possible on the next place I go. I keep feeling that it's Kauai that is calling me to go there, and there's a mother and two children that I was looking to live with, but I don't see that opportunity available anymore. So I'm wondering if that is still a place I would go, and when I would go there, and when I would leave this current situation. And regarding earning money, can I just ask the other parts of the question, if possible? So best way to earn money here is what I'm doing now. Is that going to sustain me? And lastly, just anything about my body's own healing and how I can improve sleep.
All right. Thank you so much for your questions, Nish. And I love this because we have such a theme going on today. It looks like our theme is kind of moving and, shifting roots, and even a little bit more around health stuff. So I'm going to do something similar to that I did for the last question that we had. I'm going to go ahead and compare the energy of different options for you by just pulling cards that will represent what's going on with each option. So the first thing that I'm doing is I'm going to turn over some cards that represent Kauai. Our first card for this is the King of Air card. So right away when we see King of Air, this is a card that represents the need to take a kind of impartial, practical approach to a situation. So we know that, of course, the heart, the emotions, preferences, these kinds of things always will play a role in what we want to choose for our life going ahead. But they're showing us that there's a need to balance out personal preferences and feelings with more of the practical side of things. So when we see King of Air and we're asking that about moving, it's definitely saying, okay, get your ducks in a row, get everything worked out, find a situation where it looks like you've got something really secure and sure, and that is going to help you. They're saying no blind leaps of faith on this one. And The next card that I pulled actually is a really positive card. We have the Star card. The Star card is a card that represents when you're on the right path. So it's definitely showing us that, going towards this location, Kauai, is on the right path for you. In other words, you're following your North Star. Exploring in this region is something that looks like it will help you to find the right, kinds of solutions. So, start looking at making long-term plans. The star card is always good at kind of directing us towards that, something that feels like it's a little bit more rooted towards the long term, even if you've got to take a temporary step as your next step regarding things going on with the next step for moving. Think in terms of the long term. What would happen after that kind of thing? Your final card for this area is the Nine of Water, which is a wishes coming true card. So that's showing us that, if you do the work, if you look and, keep pursuing this, far enough, that you've got a wish coming true. And usually, particularly with Nine of Water, that wish coming true is something that is really supportive and warm feeling around relationships and people connections. Now, I did pull a card for specifically, what would happen around maybe people connections. I pulled this from our Fairies Oracle, and the card is, okay, this is perfect, the Friends card. So when you mentioned that before there was a family potentially that you would be, rooming with, this next card, the Friends card, is showing us that yes, this feels like you'll be able to be rooming with people. Connecting with human beings definitely is a way to help you get started with putting your roots in the ground. And friends, so this would show us a friendly, warm kind of energy is something that you can start looking forward to as you look to the future with this. Let's move on to the financial side of things and see what the angels are showing us with this. Okay, so the first card that we have for finances, I really like. From the Angel Tarot again, we've got the Unity card as the first card. This is the card that I pulled to represent what you're already doing now, since you mentioned you kind of wanted to look into this. Interestingly, with the Unity card, this represents that you're taking a tried and true path. This is also sort of a slow and steady wins the race card, so it's tells us to persevere, to keep going, to know that yes, you're aligned with an energy right now that is unifying you with a good method going forward for finances. Then your second card for, again, kind of continuing on the path that you're on in terms of finances is Six of Fire. So that's a victory card. That's usually success. So again, persevere, keep going, hard work. As well, I'm hearing the angels say align yourself with maybe anyone else who maybe would work with you on this or finding new connections. People connections just seems to be quite a beautiful theme as far as where a lot of that support is now kind of coming in. And then let's go ahead and pull a card for health and well-being. So this I'm pulling one now from the Fairies Oracle here, just to see if we can get something here. And I'm tuning into Archangel Raphael. Okay, I love this. I'm tuning into Raphael, and he's actually showing us that you've got a really good opportunity to kind of deepen your health and well-being in the location that you're in right now. Lots of warmth, lots of sunshine, lots of good local produce and that kind of thing. Feels really, really lovely. But you're also being given guidance to slow down. They're showing us that anytime we move. So we often end up uprooting ourselves when we do that. It's sort of like when you repot a plant, sometimes it'll go into shock when it goes into new soil temporarily. So what you can remember at this time is that you might need a little bit more rest, a little bit more sleep, a little bit more quiet time. And the card that came forward is the Singer of Intuition. Singer of Intuition. I'm hearing the angels add in the words body intuition. So your body has really good intuition regarding what it needs most, and they're simply reminding you to take a little bit of time to listen to your body, to tune in and ask it what it needs, and then to listen, whether it's saying, I need a little bit more rest, I need a nap today, I need, maybe a particular kind of food or more hydration. Just go ahead and give yourself all of that support and be very patient with this process they're adding, knowing that any kind of big life transition like this can take plenty of time, certainly takes lots of work. So we'll need to balance that work out with the rest and the healing time too. All right. Any thoughts on that so far?
Just one more thing regarding the initial question regarding the move to the other island, Kauai. do you have a sense? Could we get a sense of um, like, do I want to when would that would be, and just any more clarification about that?
Yeah, so I'm actually looking right back at the card that we had before from this, when we were looking at that King of Air. And the message that I'm getting around this is you'll know when you have found that concrete thing
Mm,
that's going to, take you there. So instead, so don't go before you found that we had this sort of
yeah.
don't, do the blind leap of faith. Instead, be really practical and arrange something. And exactly when you find that, that's when you know you're going to be doing the move. So hope that
Well,
helps.
thank
And
you.
thank you so much for
Yes.
calling. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.
All right, let's go to our next reading here. It looks like we have a reading request from Fantasia. She says, My name is, oh, My name is Sarah. Okay, never mind. Different reading, different name. And I have some questions regarding my health. I've been suffering with severe flare-up of an autoimmune disease for a long time now, over 2 years. Our health theme is still back on, guys. Um, I've started to heal very slowly, but today I feel awful. I already began to see a holistic doctor and have changed my diet, but sometimes I feel like I'm never going to heal. Do my angels have any advice on what I should do? Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Sarah, for bringing in this question. I'm getting a lot coming through from Archangel Raphael right away. He's showing us that you do have high sensitivity when it comes to food and environment, given your body's current condition. And he wants you to know that you actually do have the abilities, giving you some hope here, to overcome a lot of the symptoms and challenges of the autoimmune disease. He says that there is a lifestyle and there's a level of detox and flow in your body that you can reach to the point where you can kind of minimize the challenges of this and, reap the benefits of feeling as comfortable and balanced as possible. So, little ray of hope there. Now, back to that sensitivity. Raphael is showing us as I tune in very closely that your body is really sensitive to anything that has chemicals in it. Again, and non-natural kinds of things. So he's showing us that as much as you possibly can, choose organic foods. Choose organic foods and choose natural, like hygiene substances and cleaning products, things that you would, have moving through your house. You're so sensitive at this point, particularly, that you will also want to be vigilant about the kinds of products that you purchase. I know that sometimes when we buy a brand new thing that we get and we unpackage it, sometimes at the factory, whether it's a piece of clothing or furniture, they will spray it with chemicals, unfortunately, or have treated it with something unnatural and toxic, for one reason or another. Start getting really, really smart about choosing products that are not produced this way. Um, you know, for new clothing that you purchase, looking for things that have, like, the organic cotton, so you're not absorbing, chemicals through your skin, or sitting on furniture that, has just recently been treated with all kinds of chemicals and that kind of thing. All of this is very, very, very important for you, because essentially when we look at you and your state with the autoimmune illness, once again, we're being taken down to the liver. Okay. This is our theme for today, you guys. So I think this probably would apply to a lot of us who are calling in and, listening today. Liver cleansing. Liver cleansing is so important. And Raphael is adding that it's important for all of us because it creates greater peace of mind. When your liver is working top shape, you're going to feel amazing. Your body's going to feel lighter. You're going to sleep much better. And so your body's going to be able to do deep level healing during your sleep. You're just going to wake up with a whole lot more inspiration. There's going to be less heaviness in your life. Things are going to feel better. So, Sarah, for you, as I'm looking in at your liver, Raphael is saying that you want to go actually gradually and slowly with liver detox. So now, okay, liver detox is a good thing to prioritize, but don't go too fast and too militant with anything that you do for your diets or any supplements that, maybe the holistic doctor might steer you towards with all of this. Just go nice and gently and slowly, so that you don't get detox symptoms. Uh, Sometimes you might notice that, with your situation, that as your liver releases toxins, that we've got negative, not so friendly pathogens that were in the liver that start to die off and that spit out toxins as they die off. As well as, just removing some of the toxins from different tissues of the body means that they're flowing more availably through your body, and you'll start to feel a little bit more bogged down. You might feel a little icky while that's happening. So short answer, drink plenty of water to help flush all of this out really nicely. Um, Raphael is also showing us some nice root vegetables. Particularly, I'm feeling pulled to like a sweet potato right now for some reason. There's something about that that feels really rooting and calming. So, see if that maybe sounds right for you. Just, use your body intuition to compare to that particular vegetable if that feels like it might be something helpful. And then go for certainly more alkaline and organic plant foods, especially juiced foods, green juices, green things that you can juice that will help to cleanse your liver completely. But just go nice and gradually and slowly. So if you find that if you have a nice green juice and you do a tall glass of it, that makes you feel some of the detox symptoms, go for a quarter of the amount of that and titrate up to having more and more of that detoxifying juice or foods or herbs or supplements or whatever. And the slower you go with this, the better. With time, you'll be able to tolerate more and more and more of this new kind of lifestyle, and your body is going to detox absolutely beautifully. And that's going to be amazing. Raphael wants to go back to just mentioning really quickly that a lot of times it looks like with autoimmune diseases, and he's showing us that with more than one of them, because I know that there are a variety of them, he's showing us that if you look at the root causes, there can be some common denominators in the realm of unfriendly pathogens, particularly sometimes viruses. And that's the kind of energy that we're feeling when we're tuning into you. So if you can talk to your holistic doctor about going on antiviral protocols or even just researching autoimmune illnesses and viruses, Raphael will always point you towards the right information that you need. He is absolutely magical and amazing when it comes to pushing the right books or, vlogs or whatever it might be into our lives that can give us the information that we need. And he's showing us that, again, gentle, slow food, natural related detox for even the virus stuff is also going to work. So you're already on the right path. Amazing that you're seeing the holistic doctor. Keep going with all of this, my dear. And, okay, they're saying lastly, as you go as well, same thing that we kind of heard. We heard this guidance before. Check and make sure that your mineral levels are all replenished and at the optimal levels that they need to be, and maybe supplement with any minerals that you might need to add in if there's a depletion in anything, because making sure that all of your coffers are filled, so to speak, when it comes to minerals, will help your body amazingly when it comes to being strong with clearing all of this. And basically, Raphael wants you to know that after, kind of going through a process of detox over time, and give yourself plenty of time, by the way. He's saying, be patient with yourself over the next, 1 or 2 even years of your life. I know that sounds like a long time, but you're going to be getting better and better and better and better every single day as you continue to follow through with some of this lifestyle stuff. So know that, again, after a long-term path of doing this healing work, you're going to have some amazing results, and you are going to get to that place as a result of detox where with this autoimmune situation, you're not going to have to deal with a lot of the really tough, uncomfortable kinds of side effects. So thank you so much for sending in your question, my dear, and my healing prayers are with you. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and see where the angels are guiding us to go next. Okay, it looks like we have another caller who's on. Caller, you are now on the air. If you could just share your first name and let us know your question for the angels.
Hi, Sarah. My name is Nadia, and I have a quick question, hopefully quick. So I'll tell you a little bit of background. I'm about to embark on a pretty long trip in September, and I'm actually going to go to Europe and then make my way to Australia. And I really have a calling to stay there. I'm hoping to get, work holiday visa and stay there for a while. and I want to see how this pairs up with my sculpting dreams as well, um, and see if I'll meet who I'm supposed to meet over there, or if I'm making a rash decision or something.
That's such a good question. Thank you, Nadia. And, I love that, again, this is just so on theme today. The angels just chose a theme for us, it looks like, because moving and rooting, this is just a big theme. So I'm going to go ahead and just tune in to see which angels are around you the most right now. Okay, I'm seeing Archangel Ariel actually step forward really strong, standing with Chamuel. So together, these angels are an amazing team. Ariel is the angel of courage and strength. And I'm getting the message of have courage, have strength. It is safe and right to step out of your comfort zone right now. This is going to be an adventure of a lifetime, and the experiences are going to shape you in many, many powerful ways. Um, from Chamuel's showing us that he's going to help to synchronize the events that you attract as you go forward on your path so that you find exactly what you need to find. I'm turning over some cards here. The first set of cards is just regarding the time where you're going to be traveling more so. And then the second set of cards is going to be about rooting, particularly, I know you mentioned Australia for that. So let's go ahead and turn over those cards and just see what we get from the angels here. Okay, so our first card is the Dreamer card for traveling, followed by the Sun card. So, okay, that makes perfect sense. Anytime you see the Dreamer card, this is a card that represents that you're taking a leap of faith, and that's wonderful. But this is helping you to follow your dreams. And there are going to be some amazing, unexpected opportunities, beautiful opportunities that come through. Our next card is the Sun card. And when we see the Sun card, this is basically just a card of success. It's also a card that tells you that you'll find your place in the sun. So your finding of your identity or your personality is going to be something that kind of comes through as a result of the travel adventures that come in. And there's a feeling of attracting a lot of great people in your life as you go through on this path. The angels want you to know as well that people here are important. So community and people connections are going to help you with finding one opportunity and then the next and the next as you continue on this path. So given that idea, let's go ahead and turn over our other little set of cards here that tells us a little bit more about where we're headed when we get to the Australia part of the journey, as well as the rooting in and seeing about finding a home there. So, okay, your first card here is the Wheel. When we see the wheel represents a time of big changes. So you'll notice that when you get to the point where you're starting to really think about putting down roots in the new location, that life will start to feel really, really different. They're actually showing us lots and lots of contemplation around, kind of finding work and finding activities, things to do, ways to serve, ways to connect with the local community and that kind of thing. They're showing us that it looks like you will manifest a lot of opportunities very naturally through the community that you might connect with, any friends that you might meet, people you might, connect with on your path, to enjoy these opportunities to work in this way. I pulled a supplemental card for that idea of your work, regarding the sculpting, the other things that you do. And the card that came through is perfect for this. This card is called the Nine of Earth, which represents usually success around self-employment. So this shows us that maybe at first the kind of work that you're doing, it feels like it's very self-directed. It feels like on a case-by-case basis, you're going to be getting opportunities for little gigs or other little things that might be coming through that kind of give us a feeling of being able to get through, to manage, to balance different areas of life. So keep your eyes on the horizon for those kinds of things. However, your second card that we have that kind of represents, okay, what's next regarding looking for those roots here is the Ten of Fire. So this is saying that, it's not going to be all 100% cupcakes and roses and perfection the whole time, which is normal of any major change in our lives. It's normal to attract, challenges that comes with pretty much every situation, every major project or goal in this human earthly world is going to have a few little challenges here and there. And the Ten of Earth, or the Ten of Fire, is the card which represents, as we saw before, the feeling of stress. So there might be moments when you're looking to root in where it might feel a little bit stressful. It might feel a little bit like, where's my next thing coming from? I'm hearing the angels say timing as well. Sometimes timing might feel a little bit stressful, where it's like, I know I've got opportunities coming in, but the timing as far as managing them might not always be, so easy to balance with. I'm hearing the angels say, take a deep breath when you get to this point in your journey. Go nice and slowly and do your best based on the information and the strength and the opportunities that you're being handed at the time, because they're saying that the universe is almost going to send you a new assignment by that time, an assignment where you've got this sense of, okay, I'm ready to move on, or I'm ready to kind of look at what's next. This is interesting. I pulled a final little supplemental card from the Fairies Oracle just to see, hey, is there anything else, you angels want to give us regarding this chapter where you're looking to put down your roots? And the Death card comes up, which is not a bad card. I know a lot of people see that, they think, oh no, is that a morbid, not so happy message? Actually, it's just a powerful message. It's a neutral message that essentially represents a powerful change is coming. So it looks like being in the new location is going to feel very, very powerful. And it will be a transformation wherein you might be asked, the angels are saying essentially to let go of expectations. Be willing to let your expectations dissolve and fade and be open to whatever the universe might deliver you, instead of the things that, you had imagined in your head at first, because the unexpected things that come up sometimes actually lead us better to the things that we need and that we're meant for than anything else will. So trust what comes, they are saying. Any other questions or thoughts on that so far?
Oh, wow. I got goosebumps. You definitely answered all of my questions, and I felt my angels with me the whole time. So I'm very excited for this trip and this chapter in my life. And thank you so much, Sarah.
You are so welcome, Nadia. Thank you. And my prayers and love are going with you as you embark on this adventure.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a good day.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, let's see where we are going to go for our next reading. Okay, the angels are asking me to go to Sophie. Okay, Sophie says, I would love to hear what the angels have to say about my spiritual path and my next step. Spiritual path. I love questions like this. Okay, Sophie, so I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of cards for you just to see what the angels would like to show us here. And also, while I'm just shuffling the cards, I'm tuning in and seeing that around you, you have a lot of divine feminine guides. They're showing us feminine ancestors on the other side in heaven who watch over you, which is wonderful. I'm also getting feminine angels and even a kind of goddess vibe that leads and guides you. So anything that you do to tune into the spirit world that has you maybe connecting with these kinds of guides would be absolutely wonderful. That would be wonderful. Let's go ahead and turn over our cards now and see what we have here. Okay, we've got a beautiful message. I pulled from both of the decks for you. The first card comes from the Angel Tarot cards, and this is a card called the Five of Earth. Now, when we see the Five of Earth, this can be a card that represents facing some fears of the past, particularly fears around lack or fears or imbalances maybe in life around abundance and feeling fully rooted and supported by the earth or material world and that kind of thing. What the angels are essentially saying is that this can be a very powerful spiritual lesson to be willing to face any fears that had been in the shadow and then take a moment to reintegrate whatever had been unconscious in the shadow, and put it into your conscious mind. In other words, sort of being like your inner parent and saying, "Hey, fear, come over here. Let me give you a hug. Let me see you. Let me understand you. Let me see perhaps where you've come from. And now let us forgive any of those past fears or worries and maybe even past experiences where maybe challenges help to trigger that fear in the first place." As you reintegrate these kinds of things, as you create a sense of peace, of wholeness, of love, and deep forgiveness towards anything that had created fear-based patterns in the past, you're going to notice that there are some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful transformations that come through. The angels are showing us an overall lightness of being, expanding out the possibilities of what you'll attract around you. Essentially, in our lives, when we unconsciously attach to fears, and in your case, it is unconscious for most of us. In fact, we unconsciously attach to limited thoughts or feelings. That when we do this, it can create walls around us, like walls of limitation, where it feels like the soul or the mind or our lives can only expand out so much. But the thing is, the soul wants to expand out infinitely around us. So letting go of fears is a really important thing because it helps you to feel more free to expand and more powerful. And the angels just underline the words more powerful because they want you to know that you actually have spiritual gifts. You've got powerful spiritual gifts, particularly in your intuition, your ability to see, hear, feel, sense, or know the angels or the spirit world in some way, even to channel it and heal with it. You can do these kinds of things. And the less fear that you have, the more empowered you feel, the more those kinds of gifts are actually going to start to bloom more. Now, your card from our fairies deck is such a beautiful card. This is a card called Iris of the Rainbows. Iris of the Rainbows. This is a card that shows a beautiful sort of divine feminine fairy goddess or fairy queen right in the center of the card. So we're going right back to that divine feminine energy for you, Sophie, which is so on point. I just love when little synchronicities like this show up in the cards. Essentially, when we see Iris of the Rainbow, rainbow energy represents fertility. Rainbow energy is incredibly pure energy. You can think of the spectrum of all the many different colors, or the spectrum of light from which all life springs. We get our life from the sun, and the sun has this whole full spectrum light. The angels are essentially saying you've got a lot of fertility around you right now, incredible deep spiritual fertility for your spiritual gifts to grow, for you to attract more abundance and to attract wonderful experiences where you'll grow with the help of other people. By the way, they're showing us a spiritual community would be really wonderful for you, and that helps to open up some of that beautiful spiritual fertility as well. So connect in with that. The angels are saying by expressing your joy, by doing things that make you feel joyful, and expressing through your voice, sometimes singing, speaking, writing, expressing yourself in some way to help your spiritual realizations or spiritual energies that you're connecting with have a foothold in this world. That is really empowering. Self-expression is empowering for that reason. It's because when we express, when we share our voice, it gives our truth, our energy, a little bit more of a foothold. That makes sense because it's like whether you're just expressing to yourself, maybe you're writing something in your journal, you're physically etching something into the physical world. So there's a physical proxy by which that spiritual energy now has a foothold and anchoring. Or if you're expressing to other people, then they can hold conscious space for your new idea or your truth or your feeling. So go ahead and play with that a little bit and see where that might lead you. There could be some exciting things that come in. And thank you so much, Sophie, for your question. Okay, let's go ahead and see where the angels would like to take us next. Okay, beautiful. The angels are asking us to go to Jordan. Okay, I love this question. I know why the angels picked this. Oh my gosh, thank you, angels, for leading us to Jordan. Okay, so Jordan says, like so many people right now, I've been living in fear of the coronavirus. For the people who are already suffering, for the future spread of the disease, and for its effect on the economy. It feels so hard to go on living a normal life with this threat hanging over the world. I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. Can the angels tell us all how to live in peace and hope no matter what happens? Thank you so much, Jordan, for asking this question again, because you're right. A lot of us are feeling fear around all of this stuff going on right now. And again, one of our themes for today seems to be health. We've got a lot of health related questions, and the angels are all too happy to give us guidance on these kinds of things. So the first thing that the angels are doing, I'm just talking straight to Archangel Raphael here. He's showing me two different things. He says there are two concerns here when we think about the coronavirus. One is fear, and the other is the virus itself. So those are two different things. The fear that's going on right now around this particular virus is actually greater a threat sometimes than the actual, kind of physical sides of all of this. Not to minimize the fact that, yes, there are people who are, suffering with this illness. And yes, it can have serious effects. But right now, Raphael is actually showing us really strong that with this particular illness, most of the people that will ever come in contact with this are actually going to heal. Okay, he's showing us that just like with, certain strains of the flu virus, there might be a small percentage of people that end up, getting it seriously enough to the point where they might pass away, which is, that's not great when we think about that. I completely understand that every single person that has to suffer in any way or, be afraid of the fear of passing away as the result of an illness, that's awful. But the percentage is the thing. It looks like Raphael's really focusing on the fact that it is small. The body, he's showing us, actually, for most of us, has the ability to kind of fight this off and to clear this. Raphael is doing something really amazing right now. He's showing me a scan of generally the human body. And this is really beautiful, but it's like he's lighting up a map that represents the immune system. So as I'm connecting with the energy of the immune system of the human body, he's saying that, wow, he's saying the world, the collective human body. So we all of us kind of share an immune system together. The entirety of the human race as a species across the planet, we share an immune system together. And, actually this virus kind of highlights that because it shows us how quickly any pathogen can spread around the world because we're such an international, fast moving community. We communicate, we connect, we travel so quickly. So they're showing us that it's natural when there is a virus or a pathogen or a concern like this that enters at any level, whether we're aware of it or whether we're not even aware of it, kind of going on because maybe the symptoms aren't pronounced and they're not things that we're able to even notice. We are a collective in terms of our immunity. And this is so cool. Raphael's showing us that the human immune system, when it achieve some kind of strength. So let's say, one person's immune system learns how to completely fight it off or, clear a virus or a pathogen and that kind of thing and be intelligent and strong. Then this amazing, kind of effect occurs where it's actually easier at a subtle level, for other people's individual immune systems to also fight it off. Very, very interesting stuff here that he's showing us. Stuff that he's saying is not quite yet things that maybe our medical researchers or practitioners are quite researching and noticing and looking at the level that we are right now in terms of our medical technology and our science and that kind of thing. But he says that the global immune system has a way of balancing itself out and that there is this greater intelligence that's, kind of occurring. And that right now with this, he's saying threat is low. The threat is low. That the largest percentage of people, and I'm feeling like he's showing us like over 95% is what I'm feeling, maybe 98%, are all people that are going to get well. Even if they come in contact with this virus, that they're all going to be well eventually. Now, let's go to the other side of this. Raphael was mentioning that fear is the other major thing when we're looking at this. So where does this fear come from? It can come certainly from the normal human, kind of wanting to avoid illness, certainly, but the media is also playing a really strong role in expanding the presence of fear around this. And I hate to say it, but there's a reason why the angels are pointing over to vaccines. And they're showing us that it's like, honestly, okay, so fear helps to sell vaccines really, really well, doesn't it? If a lot of people are terrified of something going on, then it behooves whomever is developing the vaccine where people are going to, have to buy into that, to make a little bit more money by having more of a narrative that gets people very highly motivated to go ahead and get the vaccine for something like this. So that's why it feels like the fear is, being touted as something that is stronger right now. And by the way, you guys, this is no judgment on vaccines. It's no judgment on the media right now. We're just stating plain neutral ideas here as to, it looks like, why the energy of fear and the narrative is going in the direction that it's going right now. The angels don't judge you no matter what outlook you have on any of these kinds of issues, these world issues kind of thing. But they do care about our peace of mind. The angels care 100% about our peace of mind. And they're saying they would like us to go into a state of peace wherever we can, to choose peace over fear regarding what we hear about this particular illness. And then other than that, just to be really practical in the same way that you wouldn't want to catch a cold or a flu or any other kind of thing that's, out there in the collective, human immune system that it's all working on right now. Just be smart. Keep your body nice and clean and clear, washing your hands, avoiding, places and areas where there's, sick people and that kind of thing. And then lastly, Raphael is saying the best friend of the collective immune system are plants. Plants are our most compatible medicine, most compatible food and medicine. And in plants, the answer is always going to be there. He's showing us actually an image of a puzzle piece. This is so fascinating. I love this question because I'm getting to learn things from Raphael. He's showing me a puzzle piece where he's showing us that every condition within the human physical body is like one puzzle piece. And then in the plant kingdom, there's always going to be another puzzle piece that clicks in and has the answer to help us boost into a state of peace, clarity, and balancing, in the immune system. Again, health. So increasing the amount of plant foods that you eat would be wonderful at this time. Raphael particularly is actually taking us over to the most ideal food, fruits. Fruits, he's saying, is our most ideal human food. If you think about it, if we were, kind of like human beings out in the wild at some point, and we came across fruit, that would have been like, he's saying, our humans' perfect food, because it instantly gives us energy. We can open it up, eat it right away, and instantly the brain is rushing with energy, that we've got blood sugar, kind of going again. We've got incredible amount of medicinal, kinds of antioxidants and things that feed our body with, the right vitamins and minerals. It's just a perfect food. And they're showing us that fruits in general are things that are going to make your immune system incredibly strong. So just eat lots of fruits, juice lots of fruits, juice celery as well. Load up on lots of fresh organic greens and that kind of thing. And do not fear. That's the only thing you need to do. Just do not fear. By the way, Raphael is saying that there is going to be a point in time after the next few months go by where it looks like we're not hearing so much about this so much because he's saying all illnesses like this, or pathogens essentially like this, have their own like timeline, it looks like, where they'll move through the collective and things will happen where, they spread, and we're still learning about how it does and the length of the incubation period right now. But after enough time, we're kind of seeing that there is some kind of a herd or group immunity. There's some kind of a breakthrough that occurs where there's just less people, kind of spreading it and getting it, where, maybe there's enough people that are being careful about not spreading it. We'll just see how it goes. But there's a point at which, not too far off in the future, we see this kind of clearing up, it looks like. So, again, while it's a serious illness, and while the angels are with every single person who's dealing with this, and while it's wonderful as well to pray for anyone who is, dealing with this directly right now, it's also important not to go into fear right now, because fear won't help so much. And this too shall pass. This too shall pass. So my love goes to you, Jordan, and thank you so much for this question. That was just such a great question. Let's go ahead and we're going to squeeze in a final question here. This is from Liu. Liu says, what would the angels want me to know today? With lots of love. Oh, that's such a great short little question to fit in perfectly right here at the end. So let's go ahead and tune in. Okay, I've got Archangel Chamuel around you, Liu. And Archangel Chamuel is an angel of love as well as of finding, as we were talking about his finding abilities earlier. And Chamuel is communicating that there is greater love moving into your relationships in the future. They're saying something about get through, or keep hope, or keep light in your heart through any challenging times, and know that there's some kind of greater love. There's some kind of greater breakthrough of hope coming through relationships, a big major blessing. The card I pulled is from our fairies deck, and it says fairies of the future. Oh, that's beautiful. So again, it's sort of saying, look to the future. In the future, we've got some kind of a beautiful little breakthrough, a little positive change that is coming for you, my dear. So thank you so much for your questions. Thank you, everyone who called today. I'm sending healing prayers to all of you. I'm sending love to everybody who's looking for direction and looking to reroute. We had such wonderful questions. I will be back on the Bring Me to Life network again next month. So if you'd like to join me again for a reading then, mark your calendars for Through the Eyes of the Angels on Thursday, March 19th. And again for Angel Hour on Thursday, March 26th. Both at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Do keep in touch with me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and sarahhall.com if you'd like your own angel reading or a healing session with me, or to take one of my online angel courses. It's always such an honor to share with all of you, and I'm wishing you all a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.